Greetings. This is Arvette McLean of Speak, the Universe Listens.
Out there what it is that I want.
We cherish that. We love that particular piece of it because
Teach people like, hey, it's okay, change.
New ways to view age-old challenges. Change your thoughts, change your life. Step into the bigness of you.
How you think you are. 27 days to radically shift your thinking and upgrade your life. More wealth, health, love, and joy.
Your course is the first course that I don't mind repeating again and again and again.
Click on the link for the special offer or visit the website at www.arvettemclean.com. Greetings and welcome to today's episode of Speak, the Universe Listens. Today's topic is music, the universe's language. And I have Deborah joining me. Hey, Deborah.
Hello. Hi, Arvette. How are you?
I'm great. You look beautiful.
Thank you. You do as well.
Thank you. So good to see you.
You too.
So, the music. Talk to me a little bit about music.
Oh, well, I know we don't have long, so this may be this is going to be a great conversation. It's hard to condense it, is what I was going to say, because I love music and I can talk about it ad nauseum.
Okay.
But what made me want to talk about it today was just the fact that, our world is going through so many changes. And one thing that I've noticed is that it's really the entire world is going through this change. So that's one thing we're having in common with this pandemic, is that everybody is being affected by it. But in thinking of that, it made me also realize or pay attention to some of the more positive things that are happening that affect all of us on a global scale. And that's music. Because most people, most families, everybody's in the house a lot on quarantine. Social media has been bringing us together with music. There's been a couple of very popular artists that have done what they call verses, and it's like a friendly competition from one artist to another. I think one of the first ones I witnessed was um, Babyface and Teddy Riley, and they were on Instagram and they were just playing their greatest hits, and we were all just sitting there, connecting, like being thrown back into when the song that they played was the number one hit, and being reminiscing and just connecting and vibing. And it really gave me this understanding, or a reminder really, that music is the language of the universe. It can bring people together no matter what. So even if you are listening to a song and you don't know the words, if it's in another language, just the beat of the music, allows you the connection to the culture that the music was created by. So just it just allows you to connect and to feel on so many different levels.
Yeah.
So that's point number one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. Like, I remember before, social media or whatever, and the song that really helped me to see that was "We Are the World."
Oh,
And
yes.
yeah, and you had all the, people from all different type of musical backgrounds came together to make that one song. And it was just
Hmm.
so beautiful in how everybody's part, it sounded like it was just for them. But
Exactly.
I can't even explain what I mean, but it's what you're saying is so universal, and applicable to everybody.
Yes. Yeah. And that's a good point because we didn't have social media at that time when that song came out with Michael Jackson and uh
Stevie Wonder,
everybody.
Cyndi
Everybody
Lauper,
was
and Michael
there. Oh
Jackson,
my
yeah, Diana
gosh.
Ross, and Elton John. It was just so
Right.
many people from all types of musical backgrounds, and I was just
Mhm.
amazed at how each person, they made their verse their own, and it could have easily fit into any genre. Like, we tend to segment things, like, this is country and this is rock and roll and this is, but they had all of those people. I think they even had Mick Jagger. They had every type of music. Well, I guess mostly American music, but they had every type of music all in one song.
Yeah. And that was a magical moment for that time,
Mm-hmm.
because it also connected people across the world because it was about, everybody being one,
Yeah.
Um, so far and wide, you know, present, past, future, um, the universe is shows up in song.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so just besides hearing the words and maybe connecting because of like a special occasion or what the words make you feel, the vibration, the sound of music alone um, resonates in the body, how many times do you hear a song and then all of a sudden that you just have a certain move when you hear it, you're just like, oh yeah, that's my song. Or whatever the vibe is that you get depending on the song, it may make you just want to sit in your chair and sway, or maybe get up and start really getting it in.
Yeah.
So the power that music has on the body, like when you hear it, you just can't help but
Mm-hmm.
at least shake your shoulders
Yeah.
or something.
That's true. It's like it's certain rhythms. I don't know if the rhythms match with our natural rhythms or whatever. Certain
Mm,
rhythms, the drums is gonna get us
mm-hmm,
moving. And then there's certain tones. Like, I think that certain music everyone loves, no matter who they are, no matter where they come from. It's like certain rhythms and tones and I guess like frequencies,
yes.
and I am not really into music. I love music, but if you ask me who sung anything, I wouldn't know. People like, what's your favorite type of music? I don't know. I like it all. you know um but I always wondered, like, let's take a Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm,
Like, what is it about his music that caused everyone to kind of go into a frenzy? Like, people love Michael Jackson's music. And so I was always wondering, is it the rhythm? Is it the tone? Is it his intention when he wrote the
mm,
music?
right.
Or is he like aligned with something that goes through all of us? Like, what was
Mm,
it? Because he could talk about anything. His subject matter was just,
yeah,
just so broad. But it was like Michael Jackson's music. It touched everybody across the world.
yeah. And that is something. And there hasn't been anyone like Michael Jackson to be able to replicate that, that ability for almost every song that they sing or that they write, to touch so many people across the world.
Yeah.
Yes. And to connect, yes, you would see, I remember seeing Michael Jackson go on world tour. I'm just in my living room, of course, watching whenever they do his HBO. He was on tour last year, so they followed him. And he's in Tokyo, right? And I mean, my ignorance sometimes leads me to believe that, since he's singing in English, how do they know English? But most of the time, people in other countries know multiple languages. So, and that brings me to discuss that learning another language through song is a lot of times way easier because of the rhythm and the frequency, and the way that it's not only you're hearing it, but how it's making you feel. And then you play it over and over again, and now you're speaking another language. You may not know what you're saying, but you're able to sing it the same way that you hear it.
Yeah. I never thought of that. Then they actually should do that if they aren't doing that. Do they do that? Like teach kids and adults through music? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it works. But I was just thinking of that as not even being really intentional. You like the song and it's in another language, and you just keep playing it over and over, and now you're singing it in that language.
Yeah.
Although you may not know exactly what you're saying, doesn't matter because you like the song. But back to your point with Michael Jackson, and it makes you wonder, where was he coming from? Like, where were those messages coming from that allowed so many people to feel connected to him through his music? And because there were many people connected to him through his music, they were also connected to each other. So I mean, I'm glad to have experienced him and watching him expand in my lifetime. When I was born, Michael Jackson was that was like the Thriller time frame. I think I was like 4 or 5 when Thriller came out, and Michael was on his own as an independent artist. But my nieces and nephews, I only have one niece and one nephew. I don't know why I said nieces and nephews, but I think I'm maybe seeing more in my future. But they're 4 and 6 right now, and they know who Michael Jackson is because their auntie plays the music, their mom plays music and sing the songs, but they don't have necessarily like the same experience that you and I had with at least being able to see him perform on TV. I never got the opportunity to see him perform live. I saw Janet though, but I didn't see Michael. And just listening to his songs, again, that strong connection. I'm not sure where it came from, or there absolutely must have been something magical and spiritual and that in that way, where maybe his identity or his connection to source or to universe was so strong that it just replicated or resonated in his songs, and whoever's ears it landed on, they just became connected in that way. So nice. So what are some of your favorite songs, if you had to choose any? Do you have one or two, or
so typically I don't have favorite songs. I have favorite songs at the moment. And so my favorite song at the moment, which I've said several times, I think ever since quarantine began, my favorite song has been, and I'm not even sure. Oh, I think the name of it is Brand New Day. But the Wiz song, and it's like, it just makes me feel like dancing. It makes me feel like jumping. It makes me feel free.
Yeah.
And like just hearing it in my head right now, I feel like, but it makes me want to kind of skip. So it's a different dance, then, it's not like I'm trying to get down, get my groove on. It's not like that. It's a dance of freedom. And
Yes.
so that's one that I'm currently, and then a song that I don't care what I'm doing. If that song
Mhm.
comes on, everything's on pause. Because I'm going to sing it at the top of my voice. I don't care where I am.
Yes.
That's Better Days by Diana Reeves or Diane Reeves.
Oh.
And like when, I don't know if it was when the song came out, but when I used to listen to it, I just was having a rough time in life for years. I listened to that song for years, like, and I would just play
Mhm.
it over and over and over on repeat. And it was like the song became my grandmother, because I didn't have a grandmother.
Oh.
So the song became my grandmother.
Mhm.
And it was like she was just encouraging me, you got to make it through the night, baby.
Mhm. Mhm.
Just make it through the night, and then be patient, and you'll get to those better days. And so
Yes.
it was like I believed her, and I wanted to believe her, and because she told me so, you know.
Yeah. Yes. So music inspires, encourages, motivates.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the way you described how that made you feel, I think that's like one of the maybe like ultimate connections to the universe. Like when you're really connected,
Mhm.
you just have this overload of pure joy when when you have that connection. Like, so I think that's another reason for me why it's the universe's language, music, or universal language. Universe's language. It's the universe, that ability to connect, because it just does something to you.
Yeah.
And for the most part, it's usually positive.
Mhm.
It's a good feeling. It's a good vibe. Yeah.
My uncle, who knows a lot about a lot of stuff, he says that, and I've heard this before, but he said that math is the language of the universe. And he said
Mm.
such that you can just look at the numbers. You can just look
Mhm.
at numbers. You can just look at equations, complex equations, and not even know what you're looking at. Just stare at it, and it will open up the secrets to the universe. And when I was so he just recently, within the past year, said this to me. When I was in college, I was taking calculus, and then all of a sudden, I fell in love with calculus, right? And it was like, I was just like, calculus is God. And I couldn't, it wasn't anything I could explain, but I felt like I could eat it, and it was like I became one with calculus. And
Wow.
I understood that. I understood everything. And so I was just so in love with it. And I was just like, this is God, like.
Wow.
And so, but I think that, you know, math and numbers, and I think that is the language of the universe, in the
Mm.
same way that, like knowledge,
Mhm.
but I think that music is the other side of it, because
Mhm.
music is the feeling part. So I can have
Mhm.
information, but I need to feel it to activate it. And
Mhm.
so I feel like that's what music is. Music is the feeling part of the language of the universe.
Yes. Yes. That's so interesting that you say that, because math connects heavily with music. I used to know a musician who would say, I didn't need to take math when I was studying music in college, because I only needed to be able to count to four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's like a steady, and it can go faster, it can go half beats, it can go whole beats. But it is numbers, and there are numbers in music. You can't have music, you can't create music. Sound is like um there's a direct link between numbers, math, and music. So if math is the language of the world, is that what your uncle said? Am I
Yeah,
quoting him right? then
universe.
yeah, then music is a huge part of that,
Mhm.
because music can't be created without counting, without the numbers, at least counting to 4.
Mhm. Yeah.
So so wow, I didn't put that connection together until now. They go hand in hand, when you think of it.
Mhm.
So no wonder you felt so strongly about math, and like feeling that it opened or connected you to God,
Mhm.
because um it's part of that, you know, courageous and inspiring feeling that you get when math clicks to you, when it's like you finally get it, like you've unlocked that door, and it is a rhythm. It's a part of patterns. I remember taking calculus also in college, and it's like once you understood the patterns, then no matter what the equation was, you could figure it out because you understood the pattern, you
Mhm.
understood the sequence,
Right.
so it music is very similar. Well, I'd like to share 3 of my favorite songs. um One of them is a spiritual song that the first time I heard it, I didn't know it was spiritual. I actually thought it was a love song. But
Okay.
then when I gained more experience and as I lived more life, I listened to that song again, like maybe I hadn't listened to it in 15, 20 years, and I listened to it again for the first time, and it was totally different to me than it was the first time I heard it. It was a spiritual song, and I was not in that space 15, 20 years ago. So I heard it as just a love song about a guy singing about a girl, but the guy was actually singing about God and the universe and belonging to the universe. And the title of the song is I Belong to You, and it's by Lenny Kravitz. Beautiful song, listen to the words and read the words, and it just has an awesome vibe. And I have a hard time picking favorites too, like you. So that one definitely would be a favorite of mine. I'm a huge Lenny Kravitz fan, so I'm always gonna love his music. So it's always gonna be a favorite. But if I had the 2 others would definitely be current favorite songs, and one of them is it's by Wynton Marsalis, and it's called Sunflower, and it actually has no words at all, but just the sound of the horns and the keys and the snare, the drum, all of that combination together, the numbers, the rhythm, the pattern. It just seems so magical when I hear it, and I can actually listen to it and close my eyes and just see a beautiful field of sunflowers. That's the title of it.
Right.
But I think too, music is like abstract art. So, meaning that who is hearing it or experiencing it in that moment, it can be different for them in that time. And it's going to be different to each individual. So, you and I can be both sitting listening to Wynton Marsalis's Sunflower and have totally different experiences on how it's registering or how it's resonating within us. So, that's another thing that I enjoy about music. It yes, it may move people may move with it together, but they're kind of always having their own individual experience as well. So you could be in a crowded room where everyone's at a show listening to the same sound come at them, but then individually they're having their own private intimate moment with how the music resonates and makes them feel. um, and then lastly, my favorite song is Happy Feelings by Frankie Beverly and Maze. So anytime, yeah, I need a pick me up, that song, the lyrics, the mood of the song, it's just so easy,
Yeah.
and it's a good time all the time.
Yeah. And I think that's really a good point is how a song can always change the mood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
And so I guess, that's a part of, and I know I use it. I use music in that way, like to bring about whatever mood that I want. And so
Yeah.
I look for what is it that I want to feel, and I look for a song that I know is gonna make me feel like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It's so amazing. And it's the universe's another tool that the universe has provided us with to connect and speak to each other and be spoken to. Um, it's a wonderful tool to use to allow people to um, connect with you, whether you're the person performing the song or if you're just playing it, and if maybe you're playing a song for a person, or like you said, to change the mood, or they're to play a song that matches your current mood. um, so there's connection either way. You're connecting with the people that are around you that are listening to it, or you're just connecting with the person that is singing or performing or that wrote it.
Yeah. I need to do a little, I don't know, research. It may just be a put it out into the universe to get the answer, but my husband, there are like these two kinds of music that he loves, and I don't even know what the music is called. Like I said, I don't know what the different genres are, but one type that he'll play, I will instantly fall asleep, like instantly.
Really?
Yeah, and then there's another type that he plays. I just get angry.
Really?
Say,
What is he playing?
I don't know. I wish I had thought to ask him about it, but it's like old slow songs, maybe in the 20s perhaps. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Um but yeah, I'm like, what is that? It just literally, I mean, within moments. And I did read that the brain entrains within 1 minute to music. So within 1 minute, your brain is at the beat of whatever that song is. And literally, as soon as
Oh,
he played, I'm just like,
you put you to sleep. Wow. If
yeah,
you ever have trouble sleeping, you
I
know
know.
what to. Okay, so let's go back. What's he? What is he playing that's making you angry?
It's the thing. It's in the same family, because he loves like jazz, but it's a certain type. So it's, like in my mind, I'm thinking it's from the 20s. But
Mhm.
I could be wrong. I don't know. I really don't know what it's when it.
Wow.
But yeah, he likes jazz from way back all the way. He likes all jazz, and so when he plays it, it's certain stuff that I can listen to and I love. But it's certain things, I mean,
Nope.
instantly. And he knows which is which. So, when I get in his car, he'll immediately shut off, because he's like, oh, this is just going to put you to sleep. So he'll just
Oh.
switch it, or he'll be like, okay, you're going to be mad at me with this one.
Oh, wow. That's so sweet of him to be mindful of that for you. Wow. That is funny. Next time you chat with him, ask him so we can follow up in the next video. That is funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you have any
So I do. So just one final little comment. Um, in addition to music being, a wonderful way to connect to each other and to the universe, um, it's very it's a very healthy kind of like activity, because it gets you to dance and gets you to move and gets your blood flowing. Um, Depending on the song, because if it puts you to sleep or if it makes you a little upset, you don't want your heart going. You don't want your heart getting excited for different reasons. So, but that's just an added bonus, I think. I absolutely love to dance. So, any music that has the type of beats that make me want to get up and just start dancing around the house, I'm always for that as well. So, twofold. And I'm sure there's many more benefits, but the main ones that I was focusing on today was that connection with the universe through music and the connection with each other around the world because of it.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you. I love talking about that. Um,
Yes, that was fun.
I will definitely check in with my husband, and even if I don't let the rest of you guys know, I'll let Deborah know.
Okay, thank you. I really need to know.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for that wonderful topic, Deborah.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me as always. Good to see you all.
All right, until next time, guys.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye.